Woman, behold your son. Son, behold your mother. During my senior year of high school, we had the opportunity to select what we called our senior quote. It would go with our picture, the professional ones that they took in our yearbook. Some of my friends quoted songs, some writers, one classmate even quoted herself. My quote came from a movie, and this movie is titled Finding Forrester. If you haven't seen it, William Forrester in this movie is a famous author who, after publishing his one famous novel, becomes a recluse. Jamal Wallace is a high school student. He's a teenager. He's African American, happens to be really good at basketball, and is invited to go to this very prestigious, mostly white high school. And throughout this movie, these two characters, quite different, form an unlikely friendship with one another over the love of writing. And eventually the movie continues, and I won't ruin the whole plot for you, but these are the words that Jamal, the high school student, ends up writing. Losing family obliges us to find our family. Not always the family that is our blood, but that which can become our blood. This was my senior quote, chosen after my father and my brother had both passed away, had both died, to use the word, in a short span of about 2.5 years. The family that was my blood was mostly gone. As Jesus was hanging on the cross, I can't imagine the horrendous pain it caused to speak any words at all as the weight of his body pushed down on his lungs as he was suffocating, as he was drowning. But through that pain, with only the women gathered and the beloved disciple remaining with him, Jesus focuses on what will happen when he is gone, when he has died. There are words for when a husband or a wife loses a spouse. We call them a widow or a widower. There are even words when a child loses a parent. We call them an orphan. There is no word for when a parent loses a child. And that is where Mary was that day. And in Jesus' words, in giving his own blood, Jesus reminds us that family goes beyond those whom we share DNA. He uses some of his own last breaths to make that crystal clear to his own mother and the beloved disciple. They are now family. If we continued in the text a little bit, it says that from that very hour, the disciple took her into his own home. The disciple took her into his own home. And we can imagine what that might look like. But that's not, in my opinion, the best translation. And it's not, the word home is never even there if you look at the Greek. I find it misleading because the original Greek says that the disciple took her into his own. He took her into his own. In the same way we've heard it said before that Jesus took us into his own. He, the beloved disciple, made Mary a part of him, not just someone that lived in his home. When I lost my blood family, there were those who took me into their own. Not just into their home, but into their own. They made me a part of their families, their lives. So as we sit, as we pray, as we focus on these words of Jesus, who is your family? Who has become your blood?